Hey guys, hello, hello, hello. I am literally just cleaning off my couch. Hi guys. All right, it's so good to see you. We have so much interesting stuff to talk about today. COVID vaccine distribution. Oh, hold on, let me get live. Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to everybody. Hold on. There we go. Hi. It is good to see everyone. We have so much stuff to talk about today regarding COVID vaccine distribution. It is wild. It is so wild. So here, let me hold on, let me just share this to my page and hold on, let me get something to sit on because I feel like I'm super low. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the boat. Got a pillow so I can sit on it. Okay. This will make me just a little higher for everybody. Yes, that's a little bit better. Although you can see my pajama bottoms, but that's okay. Everybody knows we all wear pajama bottoms all day long these days, right? Doesn't everybody know that? Okay, COVID casual. Okay, guys. So let me just share this to my personal page, my live, and we're going to get started. So much to talk about, man. So much to talk about today. This COVID vaccine, like, is insane like wowzers. Like, oh, now I feel I'm too high. No, I guess this is about right. All right, so okay, let me get my notes together, and I've been going through. I have a lot of stuff to talk about with you guys. First of all, I want to welcome everybody. Those of you who are watching, I'm doing my lotion thing. I'm always like putting on lip gloss or doing lotion with you guys. Welcome to those who are watching me on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers. Hello, Facebookers. If you are not on the other channel, check me out there. I'm at Dr. Jen Caudle in both places. Also want to thank you guys for sending stars. You guys have already started sending stars on my Facebook channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate you. And I also want to invite all of you to become a member in my channel membership. So on YouTube, I've got 4 different levels of channel memberships with perks. And on Facebook, everyone can join my Healthy Living with Dr. Jen group. That is a free group. Just put in Healthy Living with Dr. Jen and click request, and I will accept you guys right away. And for those of you on Facebook who want to join my subscription group, by the way, you will get a special invite to my virtual Thanksgiving soiree. Well, it's not a soiree. We're just doing like a drink and dessert virtually on Thanksgiving, just to join in and be festive. The link for that is in the description of my Facebook post right here in the live. Okay. Oh, before I start to tell you details, so many of you guys ask me when I go live, and I'm never like, I always kind of tell you guys, but like, let me just be I need to be systematic about it. So I'm going live every Monday and Friday, and I'm going to go live from Facebook, which that's always been my Facebook time, Facebook and on Monday and Friday, but I'm also going to go live on YouTube on Monday and Friday. Okay. Now, Monday, it's got to be when I get home from work, and I usually am not going to be home till like 9 to 10 p.m. So I'll let you know that evening. And then same thing with Friday. It just sort of depends on how the evening's going, what breaking news is happening. But just so you guys know, Monday and Friday, I go live on YouTube and Facebook, and make sure you hit notifications, like hit the button that says get notifications so that you can catch me when I go live. Because a lot of you are like, oh my God, I missed you live, da 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 da. So, all right, let's jump back to business. And again, thank you guys for the stars. Let's see here. Ariel on YouTube, you're asking if healthcare workers will be required to take the vaccine. That's a really good question. Now, I have not heard of any particular requirements at this point. It'll be interesting to see as things go on if it's going to be required. Many healthcare facilities require like the flu shot. Like I have to get the flu shot. I would anyway, but I'm just saying. It'll be interesting to see what happens as time goes on. I'm not aware of any institutions or any sort of schools or anything like that requiring the COVID vaccine. I have done some videos on whether the COVID vaccine should be made a requirement. Check those out, and also weigh in the comments as well. Let's start talking about this Pfizer COVID vaccine, in particular, some of the challenges with the distribution. Okay, that's one of the things that it's actually quite fascinating, like the concerns about the distribution of this particular COVID vaccine. First of all, I should say, you guys, many of you have seen the recent articles in the news about COVID vaccine side effects and potential side effects. And you've written me being like, oh my God, is there side effects? And what's the side effects and what's going on? Check out the video I posted today, both on YouTube and Facebook. I talk about some of the mild to moderate side effects that have been experienced in some people in COVID-19 vaccine trials, including the Pfizer one. Facebook, y'all is showing out with the stars. Woo, love y'all. Love ya. Okay. So this is what I think is super fascinating about this Pfizer COVID-19 distribution situation, okay? First of all, there's apparently a lot of questions that the states have about how many vaccines they're even going to get. And I can understand why that's a concern, right? States want to prepare for this. And according to news reports, states haven't necessarily either been given a number or even been told when they're going to get the information about when they're going to get the number of doses that they can expect. It's a big deal, especially for this vaccine for a number of reasons, right? We want to know who we're going to give the vaccine to, who's going to get it first, how to store the vaccine. We're going to talk about a couple of those things. Now, what I also think is really interesting is that there are reports that there are a lot of sort of organizations that are involved in the COVID vaccine sort of distribution. I don't know if you remember that video that I made earlier this summer where, and I probably will post it this weekend, I'll repost it from the summer, because this summer I was talking about, my main thesis in this video was, I'm kind of scared about how the COVID vaccine is going to be distributed. And I said that because if you remember in the beginning of COVID, how the test kits were distributed or like lack thereof distributing, like how they weren't really, testing facilities and things like that. We can't have another repeat of what we have already had in terms of testing for COVID, a sort of a cohesive sort of plan and rollout of how we're going to do this. And now we're at this spot now, potentially in the next month or so, we could be rolling out a vaccine. So how are we going to do this? Apparently, there is a vaccination program that's managed by the CDC, plus the Department of Defense, plus Operation Warp Speed are three organizations that are involved in the distribution of the vaccine. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but this ain't no regular vaccine, meaning, okay, it's an mRNA vaccine, okay? That's a different technology than really what we've used before with vaccines. So it's kind of exciting that maybe this is paving the way for other vaccines and sort of, other discovery with this sort of, with this platform. But the thing about it is, because of this, the vaccine actually has to be stored super, super cold. I don't know if you guys have seen this in the news, like the temperature at which these vaccines have to be stored. They have to be stored at about, I think it's, well, I can't read my writing, but I can't read the Celsius writing. That's what I get for chicken scratches. But it's 103, roughly 103 degrees Fahrenheit, negative, okay? Some articles say negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever the case is, it's around 94 to 103 degrees negative Fahrenheit. Y'all, that is cold. That's like super, super, super duper cold. And the important thing to know about that type of coldness, and actually I wrote down, so as a frame of reference, our kitchen freezers, the freezers in our kitchens, they go down to about -4 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So that's a kitchen freezer. Now in our kitchen freezer, what do we put in the kitchen freezer? We have ice cream, we have frozen, like what did I make this evening? I had tacos, but I took out some chicken from the freezer, it was frozen, right? That's the type of freezing that you use to keep ice cream creamy, but frozen, but not hard as a rock, and chicken and beef and stuff, frozen, whatever. That's -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine -100 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine how cold that is. Guys, that is like super, super, super cold. Now, the thing about that is, because of that, we can't just use our kitchen freezer. Like, we just can't, we can't go down to the Sam's or Walmart or like Sears or whatever and just pick up a freezer to store these vaccines. We, not the public, but like, drugstores, doctor's offices. And by the way, we have freezers and refrigerators and stuff like that already, but we don't have anything that goes that low in terms of temperature. That's one of the biggest things about the fact that this vaccine has to be stored in such a cold temperature is hardly anybody has freezers that can go that low in terms of the temperature. But wait, not only that, I got mo for you. This is fascinating to me. Okay, not only that, wait, I wrote down some other things. Hold on. Okay, so we don't have freezers that go that low. The other things I read too is that freezers that do go this low, when I look this way, I'm looking at my refrigerator, my freezer. Freezers that go this low in temperature also tend to be very expensive. So there's a cost prohibitive nature to it. Not only the fact that it's cost prohibitive for probably many organizations or health facilities or what have you, they're not just sort of readily available. You don't just go down to Sears and or whatever, and Lowe's, Home Depot, and buy a freezer that can store vaccines. Also, the other thing that I learned is that the glass vials that are needed to distribute the vaccine, because the vaccine has to be kept at such a cold temperature, and isn't this fascinating? I think this is so fascinating. Because the vaccine has to be kept at such a low temperature, the vials that are needed to help distribute also have to be specially made. They have to be like industrial strength glass vials. You can't just have a regular glass vial because it's not going to be able to withstand a temperature of like negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And guys, honestly, this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. The stuff I'm mentioning to you now, these sort of little facts out here, are just some of the few that I found really interesting. There are a number of things along this nature about that make this distribution of this particular vaccine complicated. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, whoa, so is it going to be like this all the time? And why do we have to keep it frozen so cold? Well, I got an answer for you. So, because this vaccine, and again, we're talking about the Pfizer COVID vaccine, because it's made with the mRNA platform and it uses genetic material, mRNA, if the mRNA platform within the vaccine is not kept super cold, it will break down. Yes, it'll break down and be unusable, will not be viable. Yes. So this level of coldness is not even, it's not even just, oh, wouldn't it be nice? It's like necessary for the viability of these vaccines in the first place. Okay. I think this is so fascinating. Now, I know you guys are probably saying, whoa, is this what we're going to have to go through with every single vaccine that we have? Because remember, guys, we have a number of COVID vaccine candidates that are currently being studied. This Pfizer vaccine, this is the one that's shown to be about 90% effective thus far, is just one of them. It's the first to reach this far along in the process. It's not the only one that is being evaluated. So not every vaccine platform that we are studying right now uses this mRNA platform and needs to be kept this cold. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. So not every vaccine, should they all sort of proceed and do well and be effective, et cetera, they're not going to all need this sort of level of like drama and like help and assistance and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's really important to know, but fascinating, right? Okay. Now, then not only that, but then there's this issue of how are we going to, like, not just even the freezers. And by the way, apparently like in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I think it's Kalamazoo, and I heard Sanjay Gupta describe this, and I read a little bit of it online. He described like this whole football field area, like an area as big as a football field with like nothing but these huge storage lockers, like thousands or whatever in this football field that will be used to store the vaccine. Crazy, right? Apparently there's also a distribution center in Belgium, I believe it's going to be. But in terms of how the vaccines get around the country and get to the place they need to go, that's what lots of states, doctors, healthcare officials, we all have questions about. And apparently, because once again, we're talking about these freezers, like you don't just pick up a freezer that cools down to negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit at like Sears, right? You just can't, you don't roll up to Sears or Lowe's or Home Depot. I'd be like, I'll take one of them super cold freezers there. That's not going to happen, right? So apparently UPS is getting involved in the vaccine distribution process, and they're going to be using lots of dry ice to get these vaccines around the country. Now, this is a 30,000 foot overview, guys. This is not all the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty. And of course, as I've always said with COVID, things very well may likely change. This is as of today. And every day we're learning more because we are getting closer, hopefully, to getting this COVID vaccine. And again, I'm talking about the Pfizer one because not every COVID vaccine that we will eventually have will have these same challenges. Okay. Now, let me tell you some more stuff that I think is like so interesting. Oh, so because this vaccine has to be kept so low, like the temperature, there's also questions about how are you going to be able to get this vaccine, say, to rural areas where, say, like, I was born and raised in Iowa, right? There are some parts of Iowa that have very few people in the area, like super small towns. How are you going to be able to get that vaccine to these small towns and still keep it as cold as it needs to be? There's only going to be a certain amount of time that, say, the vaccine will be able to stay on dry ice or whatever before yada, 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 right? Before it either needs to be used or something like that. And I've read some numbers about 5 days, this, 3 days, that, whatever. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty because there's no need. And of course, all of this stuff is stuff that we are really learning about. But the point being is, think about that, right? These small towns, how are they going to get this vaccine, given that it's so like persnickety and so like touchy, right? And then think about other countries or even other places in this country that are super hot. Like, what about like Texas and Arizona and places that are really close to the southern border, or other countries, African countries that are hot all the time? What's going to happen? How are we going to get this vaccine to people who live in those areas and keep it as cold as it needs to be? Oh, y'all, the questions are endless. I mean, I have to say, I think it's fascinating, but as you can see, there are so many different potential levels of breakdown that it does make me scared. Now, we're going to talk about sharks, which, guys, this blew my freaking mind. Before we talk about sharks, let me take a couple of your questions, because the shark piece, those of you on YouTube, I didn't put it in the title, so you didn't even know I was going to talk about sharks. But sharks, endangered species sharks, have something to do with these COVID vaccines and other vaccines as well. So don't go anywhere, by the way. But let me just, those of you on YouTube, Kevin Christensen, you were saying, is there an email to send me questions? Best thing to do is to send me a message on social media. I can't always answer every question, but I try my best. So if you're a YouTuber, you want to put it on YouTube under a video, totally fine. You can DM me on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook. You can write a message in the comments of this video. You can do whatever you want. I'm at Dr. Jen Caudle. That's all my social media. Oh, and guys, I'm on TikTok now, and I'm doing Instagram Reels. I'm trying to get up with the twin. I'm trying to be up with the kids. Trying to get up. So check me out on TikTok. I'm a baby TikToker, so don't hate on me. Okay, I'm still honing my skills on TikTok and Instagram Reels. But check me out. I'm at Dr. Jen Caudle. You know, throw me a heart or something, because encourage me, because I need encouraging, because I have been resisting this for a long time. You know, I get hot. Plus, I was baking some extra chicken. I made chicken tacos for dinner. Ooh, chow. So good. But I had an extra chicken breast that was frozen, and I didn't want to put it back in the refrigerator. So I'm cooking it, and I'm getting hot anyway. So, oh, and by the way, thank you guys on Facebook for the stars. You are amazing. And on Facebook, by the way, I want you guys to consider joining my subscription group. That's the Dr. Jen Superstars group. The link is right in the description. And I want everyone to join my Healthy Living with Dr. Jen group. That is free. Just type in Healthy Living with Dr. Jen. And of course, on YouTube, I have membership channels as well, too. New merchandise is going to be rolled out for my birthday, which is happening later on this month. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Okay, you guys want to hear about sharks? Yo. Okay, so I subscribe to National Geographic. I do. I love it. It's one of my favorite emails. Like, I'm always like, and it's not like a cheap subscription. Like, I subscribe to the online subscription. It's not cheap. And every time I'm like, oh, you need to like cancel the subscription, they put out articles I just love. Like, I love anything about like deep underwater stuff. I love anything about glaciers. I love anything about space. I love anything about basically everything about National Geographic. They don't really deal with space so much, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so, and the articles are fascinating. The photos are so beautiful. It's just like, you feel like you're literally being transported into a whole nother world, because we can't travel right now. So I love looking at the photos. Anyway, just tonight, National Geographic, I got an email this evening talking about how sharks may be in danger as a result of COVID-19, the pandemic, but more specifically, the COVID-19 vaccines that we are rushing to make available. Shayna Hodge, you love National Geographic too. Oh my God, it is so awesome. Let me tell you, I was like, what is this? Okay, this is the deal. I wrote it down because honestly, when I tell you this blew my mind, I was like, what? Okay, so sharks, apparently, shark liver oil, the oil that's made in the liver of sharks. I guess that may be like, it's probably not like cod liver oil, but the only other type of liver oil I think about is cod liver oil, right? You hear about people referring to that. I never really heard the phrase shark liver oil, but apparently shark liver oil helps make vaccines more effective. Yeah, that's right. I didn't know this, and maybe many of you guys actually know this as well. Maybe you do know this. And apparently, what it is it helps formulate what we call an adjuvant. It makes an adjuvant which is added to vaccines, which basically helps the host's immune response to the vaccine. It helps make the vaccine more effective. Crazy, right? Shark liver oil. And I was reading on National Geographic about like what happens to sharks sometimes, and I don't want to tell the whole story because I don't want to paint the wrong picture, but I didn't know that sharks sometimes were poached, sometimes taken illegally, sometimes legally, whatever. There's a lot of things going on here. This is just a 50,000-foot overview, but sometimes their livers are literally cut out for the shark liver oil that is used as an adjuvant for vaccines to help make vaccines more effective. I didn't know that. And as a result, there are apparently a number of what's the word? Endangered shark species. Apparently, you have to get the shark liver oil from sharks that are really, really big, that kind of live way at the bottom of the ocean, something like this. They tend to have larger livers, right? Crazy. And this could potentially put especially endangered sharks in further endangerment, and sharks that are not endangered in endangerment as well, to get the shark liver oil, which may then go to help make a COVID vaccine more effective. And you might say, well, why is this a problem now? Well, first of all, I can't say it wasn't a problem before. This is my entree into shark liver oil, guys. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know. But because COVID-19 is a pandemic now, and COVID-19 has literally affected millions. We have over 240 something thousand deaths in this country. I don't know what the numbers are today, but yesterday we had 150,000 cases diagnosed. We're having over 1,000 people die every day. Point being is, we're going to need to make millions and millions and millions and millions and bazillions of vaccine doses, which means we're going to need a whole bunch of shark liver oil if that's what's being used. Now, a couple things I need to say is not every vaccine needs an adjuvant or uses an adjuvant and or also uses shark liver oil as the adjuvant. Let me be very clear. This would not necessarily be every vaccine, okay? It's not every vaccine. It wouldn't necessarily be every COVID-19 vaccine, okay? And apparently, scientists have been encouraged to look for other substances that can be used in place of shark liver oil to make these adjuvants. Like they said that even sometimes plant substances, et cetera, can be used for it. Well, this would be a really great thing to find, like right now. But the point being is, even if just a couple vaccines need shark liver oil, and we need to produce millions of vaccines for the whole world, that could really create even more of a problem than we might already be having with our sharks. I had no idea. Isn't that like crazy? Like, I mean, that is like, that's insane. And I'm like I'm in my soul, I'm a bit of like an animal active. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want animals to be, I don't ever want to see that, right? We need, there is a life cycle, I understand, and we need vaccines and this and that. But, what would be great is if we had an alternative to shark liver oil, especially since we know we're going to need to be making lots of COVID vaccines. And since we know some of them may need to use shark liver oil to make an adjuvant. This is fascinating, right? And who said use plants instead? Yeah, Lena Morrison, you said, yes, use plants instead. I'm totally with you. So I'm really hoping that scientists find other alternatives, because we need our sharks. We need our animals. We need people too. We need everybody and everything to stay alive. Guys, I'm going to just take a little, is this not, and apparently shark liver oil is called something called squalene. Anybody ever heard of that? Squalene. Google it. Google shark liver oil and vaccines. I had no idea. National Geographic, thank you so much. Anyway, I'm going to take some questions from you guys now. I want to just give you a few updates. The idea and the point here, though, is that, guys, this is going to be, with the Pfizer vaccine in particular, a little bit of a tricky rollout. We're going to have to see how it's rolled out, how successfully we can do this. And it sounds like there are a number of organizations that are working together and health officials, which is good. But we can't afford to mess this up if we get a vaccine. We can't afford to have vaccines go bad because they're not distributed properly or in a timely manner or not kept cold enough or things like that. This is complicated at best. So we have to wait and see. We'll keep our fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed. We'll also hope that we do not lose sharks to vaccines either, although I believe that it's actually happening now to some degree. Those of you on YouTube want to check in. Thank you guys, YouTubers. Thank you for your super chats and super stickers. I love it. Also, YouTubers, members, make sure you check out my my memberships. I'm going to be rolling out new merchandise very soon. And Facebookers, thank you so much for the stars. You guys are like rock stars with the stars. You can find those right underneath the video. Also, if you have not joined my Healthy Living with Dr. Jen group, please do. And if you want to join my subscribers group, Dr. Jen Superstars, we are having a virtual Thanksgiving that you will be invited to, which I'm so excited about. And remember, guys, I do go live every Monday and Friday. So if you guys are wondering when you can catch me, that is it. I'm trying to be more regular. Just make sure you hit notifications to get notifications when I come on. So I'm so glad you guys are here and listening to this. Please make sure that you share this. I so appreciate you. Let me take some questions. KL Bass on YouTube, you say, has the vaccine been deemed mandatory? I told you guys what I thought. I don't think that I am not aware of any organization or facility making it mandatory at this point. We will see what happens over time. Okay. Let's see here. Who else? Let's see. What else we got? Eileen, shark liver oil price just skyrocketing. Is it really? You said LOL, so I don't know if that's a joke or if you're being serious, but let me know. I'm really, really kind of curious. Susie, you said, I totally get it about the sharks. You're on Facebook. You said, but sometimes human lives must take precedent over sharks' lives. You know, this is something that we're going to certainly have to deal with. Tracy, you said you're allergic to the flu vaccine. Well, please don't get a flu vaccine if you're allergic to it. That is for sure. Let's go over to YouTube. Let's see here. None of your business. Ha ha ha. That's the screen name. I love it. None of your business. Ha 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 on YouTube. That's the name. Said hi, doctor. Well, hi. None of your business. Hello, back at you. Aiden Cole, thank you for watching. Eddie Sanabria, I hope I said your name right. Thank you for watching. Let's see here. Blah 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 blah. What else we need? Lonnie Groom. Hey, Lonnie, you said Lonnie is one of my Dr. Jen superstars. He is also one of my YouTube channel members, always supporting. Thank you, Lonnie. Lonnie, you say that so we need to find a supplement for shark oil. Yeah, it sounds like it. Again, I am just a layperson with shark oil and adjuvants for vaccines. I'm just telling you what I read on National Geographic, but I like National Geographic. And so hopefully this is food for thought for you guys to look deeper and look further and to understand this stuff. Let's see what else we got. Deborah Summers Gaskins. Hello. Deborah Coney, you said, I hope they won't make people get the vaccine. I think a lot of people feel the way you do too. Joy McKinley, thank you for the stars. Sylvia, thank you for the stars. You're one of my Dr. 10 superstars. Barbara, let's see here. Barbara, you said my son's wife and babies were quarantined. They're all negative. When can I go back and watch them? So there is some guidance on the CDC. Just, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing because it really depends on specific days. When quarantine, when diagnosed, when stopped, like all those dates actually matter. But there is guidance on the CDC about saying when you can be around other people from isolation or quarantine, if you've had COVID and gotten over it, things like that. So check out the CDC so you can go through the actual dates with your family and see what's what, okay? Let's see here. What else we got? Eddie Sanabri, you said, will our doctor's office carry the vaccine? It's a good question. Don't know, because remember, it depends on these freezers that can freeze these vaccines at the lowest temperature. I can tell you right now, there's probably a lot of doctor's offices that may not be able to either afford these freezers or be able to have them or maintain them or what have you. I did see that lots of pharmacies will be participating in this effort, whether it's CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, things like that. So hopefully there's also going to be a big pharmacy movement to help get these vaccines out. Okay. Miss Tan on YouTube, you were in one of the COVID trials. Were you in the Pfizer trial? You said, I've had the 2 injections and I'm now in the monitoring stage. I wonder what I was given, whether I was given the mRNA vaccine or placebo. Miss Tan on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of this trial. God bless you. We need people to be a part of the trial to tell us how this is doing and how it's working. Guys, if you haven't check out the video I did earlier today, which is about potential COVID-19 vaccine side effects, which I know so many of you are wondering about. I took a look at a lot of the data and sort of information that we have right now. Take a look at that so you can sort of get some information about vaccine side effects. Of course, we will learn more as things go on, and we have to find out how the safety data turns out for these vaccines. But Ms. Tan, thank you for like being such a, I mean, I just think it's such like an altruistic thing to do, to be a part of a COVID vaccine trial, any medical trial. Really is amazing. And for any of you who are interested in being involved in trials, I don't have a website for you, but I do know that there are trials out there available, and this is how we learn about what works and what doesn't. Let's see here. What else we got? Aideen Red. Hello. You're one of my Dr. Jen superstars. Hello. Let's see here. Okay. Carla Tussin, you said, thanks for keeping us informed. Well, I'm trying. Patty, Hanish. Oh, Patty. Hello. You're one of my Dr. Den superstars. You finally caught my live. That's right. I'm on Mondays and Friday nights, trying to be more regular. And thank you guys so much for the stars. I really love it. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, Eileen Mills on Facebook. You said, bloomassociation.org explains that shark liver oil is in fact going up in cost globally. That's just one source. Fascinating. This is from Eileen Mills. Thank you for mentioning that to everybody. So once again, food for thought, just to learn more. Okay. And again, this is not to say that the vaccine's not good. I'm just telling you different facts that we are learning about vaccines and how the impact of these vaccines will sort of not only impact us personally, but globally. One of the big things here is that pretty much everybody in the world needs this vaccine. That's why this is kind of like, ooh, you know what I mean? Lots of vaccines, okay? But I'm not implying in any way that this is bad or wrong. I'm just saying that clearly this vaccine and any vaccines we get for COVID will have a big impact on a lot of aspects of our lives, and potentially animals too. Kimberly K, would I get the vaccine? Yes. When the vaccine is deemed safe and effective, when it goes through all the proper trials, the data has been evaluated by the scientists and the researchers, when it's FDA approved, et cetera, yes, I will get the COVID-19 vaccine. I will do that. Yes, I will do that. So I've been very honest about that and just trying to be transparent about that. All right, what else do we got? We have Elena, when do I think things will get a little bit better? I think the COVID vaccine will help, but even when we have the vaccine, we're still going to have to wear masks for a little while. And the reason why is because everybody's not going to be able to get the vaccine all at once. It's probably going to be rolled out over months and months and months. Not only that, nothing is 100%. Vaccines aren't 100%. And, our scientists and science will tell us when we can back off on what mask wearing and things like that, but I don't expect that to be anytime soon. I know it's not exciting. It's a little depressing, but, I do think that's the case. I can't believe I've been on for a half hour, guys. I don't want to take your time. Guys, thank you so much for the stars. Thank you guys for everything. I'm going to try to answer. If you sent me stars on Facebook and you had a question, I didn't get to answer your question, please send me a message and say, hey, Jen, I sent you sent you stars. Can you answer my question? And I will totally do that. On YouTube, if you sent me super stickers or super chats and I did not answer your question, please write me a note and say, hey, I sent you super stickers or super chats and you didn't get to my question. But I don't want to keep you guys too long. I hope this is helpful in terms of COVID-19. Guys, wear your mask, social distance, no crowds. And did you see my Thanksgiving video? I don't think y'all were going to like it. Take a look at it if you haven't. I'm talking about going home and spending time with family. If you haven't, that was my video from yesterday. It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook. Should you be around family and friends for Thanksgiving? You may not like my answer. So take a look at that, guys. I love you. As always, happy Friday night. I will see you guys very soon. We'll be back live on Monday. Of course, more videos tomorrow. There's just so much to talk about. Stay safe. I love you. Okay, bye. Hold on, let me get live. Hey, guys. Hello to everybody. And I'm still on YouTube and trying to end this. Hold on. It is good to see everyone. We have so much stuff to talk about today.